Hi everyone, this is Randy Young and welcome into another special edition of our Winter Sports Coaches Corner program here on WCHC TV and also on Facebook. This week we're going to be taking a look at the Fayette Christian School Crusaders basketball programs as we'll be talking to both the boys varsity and girls varsity coaches. We'll be back with Gary Schaefer, the head boys varsity coach at Fayette Christian School, right after this. High school students and adults do have a choice in continuing their education. Great Oaks Career Campuses offer youth over 30 career programs that students from 36 different school districts take advantage of. Plus, Great Oaks offers a dozen full-time programs as well as part-time certification program and short-term classes for enjoyment and lifelong learning. For details on locations or to make an appointment to talk with representatives, contact Laurel Oaks location in Wilmington at 800-752-5480 or visit their website at greatoaks.com.
Coach's Corner is brought to you in part by Courthouse Manor and St. Catharines Manor. Courthouse Manor is honored to now offer assisted living to our community. Their brand new facility offers one-bedroom apartments for individuals who value independence, yet recognize the need for daily assistance. Services include daily meals, laundry service, housekeeping, opportunities for lifestyle enrichment activities, and more, all at a flat rate. Stop by Courthouse Manor Assisted Living today for a tour at 555 North Glen Avenue in Washington Courthouse. Courthouse Manor and St. Catharines Manor of Washington Courthouse, a tradition of caring.
Well, we're back here at Fayette Christian School, and in the background you can hear some of the basketball practices going on. So we're trying to catch our coaches between the practice sessions. So before the guys take the court, we've asked Gary Schaefer, the boys varsity coach at Fayette Christian School, to come over and talk to us, the head coach of the Crusaders first year. Gary, I guess the first question has to be one of the reasons you're retired. Why did you come to do this?
Well, I don't know. You know, they called me for a while Brett Favre of Washington Courthouse. I retired so many times. I think this is number 3, I think.
Yeah.
But no, they were in a situation where the young man that was here left and went into the Air Force, and they had no coach. And so I guess I was available, and I guess the Lord is saying, Gary, you better take this.
You know, Gary, I guess it's one of the things that some of these guys, with your background, maybe not be getting the coaching that they had in the past. Nothing against the guys that's coached here before, but with your experience and things like that, what was your goal when you came into here? Obviously, you wanted a winning program and stuff like that, but what was you wanting to maybe teach these young men?
Well, you know, basketball provides a lot more than just playing the game of basketball. It provides you with a lot of life skills that you'll need once you are into your professional life or going to college or other things that you decide to do in life. But I was a little bit, I guess, apprehensive about, you know, where these kids were as far as their abilities and what they've been exposed to. And it was a lot less than what I imagined. Mm-hmm. You know, no fault of anyone's. It's just a situation that exist with smaller schools and especially the Christian schools that have a very low enrollment. Mm-hmm. So I think it's certainly been a new experience for me, and I'm certain it has been for the kids, because I'm sure that we've done some things that they are new to them and that they're just not aware of.
Of course, folks might forget a little bit that before you came to Washington Courthouse many years ago, you did teach at a Christian school in West Virginia.
Yeah, I was here for 13 years, and then in 1981, we went to Cross Lanes Christian School in Charleston, West Virginia, and we were there for 6 years. Our sons have always gone to school here, even though I was teaching at Washington High School. And at that time, the school here only went to 8th grade. Mm-hmm. So when my oldest son, Gary, was going into 9th grade, the Lord just opened up a door at Charleston, West Virginia. And it was a lot bigger school down there. It was right around 400 students. Oh, okay. So we had a pretty good program. We played a lot of public schools. About half our schedule was Christian schools, and half of it was public schools. So it was a good experience, certainly for my sons and for me, and very rewarding. You don't have the same, I guess, fringe benefits at the smaller Christian schools that you do in the public schools, but it was a great experience for me and my family.
What is one of the advantages of coaching at a Christian school for you personally?
Well, I think you can emphasize a lot of the things that the Lord wants us to do in our daily lives. You know, the verses we use for the kids are Colossians 3:23, whatsoever you do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men. And you do all things without murmuring and complaining. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of thy mouth, that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So you can emphasize those things. You can do that in the public schools, which I did, but you don't use the reference in the Bible verses. I mean, you still expect the same things. Mm-hmm. And the things that the kids learn from being involved in a program that emphasizes those things that you need and other things that you're going to do after high school and after college are very important. Over the years, you know, I didn't realize this when I first started coaching, but, you know, over the years I've gotten a lot of letters and phone calls and conversations with former players that were thankful for the things they got from playing basketball in our program that helped them in doing a lot of things they were doing in their adult lives.
I guess, and I asked some coaches that have done it for many years the same thing, and I'll ask you as well. I think I already know what the answer is, but anyway, is the fact that you do hear back from those players as they get a little bit older and into life. Is that maybe the most gratifying thing to you as a coach?
Oh, yes. I mean, it was a point in my early coaching years when I just felt that, you know, what good am I doing these young men? And then about that time, I think I'd been in it 10 to 15 years. And then I started getting comments from former players that were thankful for the things that they got from being exposed to our program that helped them in dealing with things, whether it be their job or other life situations. You know, I've had two former players that were in automobile accidents. One of them you knew, Aaron Kidney,
right,
and another one, Michael Wilson, from when I was in Charleston, that became quadriplegic. And the two comments that they both made to me was they were thankful for what they got from being involved in basketball that helped them to deal with the situation they were in at the present time. So, you know, things like that really help you to see that the players are getting things that are going to help them after their playing days.
I know that folks that maybe not come out, and there's still plenty of home games left for the school, and their tournaments coming up and so forth. But you know, one of the things that got me was when I started doing these games for Nick Epifano is the fact of this facility and how beautiful it is for a Christian school.
Yeah, this is amazing, the facility we have here for 140-something students, but everything you see is paid for. We have always had the philosophy that we're not going to do anything unless we have the funds for it. Mm-hmm. So this is all paid for. A lot of the work was done by our people. Glenn Kahn was a big factor in getting this facility here. He did a lot of work and a lot of things that went into this being finished. So yeah, it is quite a facility. When we moved to Charleston, West Virginia, we did not have a gym, but within 2 years we had one, which was similar to this one, maybe a little bit bigger. We had a balcony in that one, but pretty similar. But this is, you know, going to some of the other Christian schools that we've been to, this is probably the nicest facility that I've seen so far.
One final question. When we're taping this right now, that you're 4-4, you still have about another 10 or so many games left in the season. I know that you want to win a lot of games, but overall, what things do you still want your team to learn and try to maybe accomplish as they head into the second half of the season?
Well, you know, just learn to play together. And I think a big thing in basketball that I have always emphasized is that you have to accept roles. Everybody is not going to be the leading scorer, leading rebounder, or starter, but I've always maintained that if you have the proper attitude and the proper effort that you put forth every single day, every single drill, every single game, then you're going to benefit from being involved in the program. So the biggest thing is learning to play together. Like I said, we're doing a lot of things that this is new to these young men. So I think overall it hasn't progressed as fast as I would like to have. But our biggest obstacle is, in practice we don't have a lot of bodies.
Right.
We have a total of 12 kids, 13 kids on junior high and varsity. And when you're taking the older kids playing against the younger kids, that's difficult for both of them. So the biggest obstacle we have is in numbers.
Well, hopefully the numbers will grow over the years here at the school, and hopefully with what the kids have learned, at least in the first half of the season, we'll continue to take that next step up and improve as the season progresses. Gary, appreciate you talking to us, and good luck the rest of the year.
Well, thank you.
Gary Schaefer, the boys varsity basketball coach here at Fayette Christian School. We'll be back, and we'll talk about girls basketball right after this. Great Oaks Career Campuses is the first choice in providing innovative career training to empower individuals and communities. With 4 campuses, Great Oaks offers high school students and adults specialized career and technical education. Check out their webpage at greatoaks.com for details and information. And in this area, don't forget to stop by their Wilmington Laurel Oaks campus or call 800-752-5480. When Summers Funeral Home opened to serve this area in 1991, one of their top promises was to each family that they served to provide thoughtful, caring, and respectful service to those in pain from the loss of a loved one. Terry Summers and his family and staff continue to promise to continue to put your family needs first with the utmost professional care that they can provide. In your time of need, remember the Summers Funeral Home, 223 West Market Street in Washington Courthouse, or call 740-335-6078. Back here on our Winter Sports Coaches Corner program now with the Lady Crusaders head basketball coach Angela Harris of the Fayette Christian School. Angela, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the team up to this point. You guys have got a couple wins under your belt. But I think people need to remember, number one, you didn't have a varsity team last year.
No, last year we just had a junior high, so it was a building year for us. And a lot of my players are 9th graders and 8th graders from last year.
So basically, what, you have no upperclassmen, or is there one or two? Or?
This year I have 3 seniors.
Oh, okay.
Taylor Brown actually played for Courthouse last year since we didn't have a varsity team, so she's a good asset. So I do have a few older players, but the majority are younger.
When you have such a young team, what are some of the things that you try to have to really kind of concentrate on to get them prepared for games?
I try to work on fundamentals, basic dribbling and ball handling skills. Right now our weakness is shooting, so we're going to work on that a lot.
I'm going to say we've been in a couple of your games, and it seems like the girls are getting a lot of offensive rebounds, but this can't get the ball in the bucket for them.
Yeah, I think part of it is inexperience and pressure. Even the seniors that I do have, other than Taylor, only have a year or two of experience from when they were in junior high years. So we're lacking that game experience, and they're going to have to get used to the pressure of shooting in a game.
When you look at, like you mentioned, a very young team and things like that, and you're trying to concentrate on certain areas, you don't, with the way the schedule was set up, number one, you had like almost a month break, and now all of a sudden you've got tons of games in a 2-3 week period.
Yeah, it was almost like our second game was another first game.
Right.
So I'm hoping with back-to-back games we'll gain some momentum and see some more improvement in the area of just being comfortable playing.
I was kind of watching practice here a little bit. Just want to ask you a few questions. You run some drills, and something happens, you're jumping rope. What's that supposed to be about?
We have some heavy ropes, so I picked something to focus on. Our game on Friday night, we had 11 turnovers due to passing.
Okay.
So in this practice, I said any turnover off a pass, you have 20 jumps to do. And that gives them some more motivation to work on what they need to.
Okay. Now, of course, you still have numerous games coming up, and want to encourage the folks to come out and watch you and the boys play. But when you've had a chance to look at your schedule a little bit, what are some of the things that you see or you have a concern about? Is it how close the games are? You don't have time to practice? What?
Yeah, a lot of it is just the way the games are stacked. We actually have a tournament after an away game on a Friday night, our game is 2 hours away in Bucyrus, and then we go to a tournament the next morning. So that's one of my concerns. Just even like Taylor is one of our main shooters, and she twisted her ankle last night. And so just getting her ready by the next game, that's probably my biggest concern, is the nearness of the games in proximity to each other.
Obviously, we've seen you do it a lot as well. You might as well. You're trying to play as many of these young ladies as possible, give them the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I do have in the back of my mind that these girls, the three that I do have that are seniors, will be moving on. And so I want to leave the team with something to work with next year and get them as much playing time as I can.
Now, with the varsity, any hopes that you can expand and have a junior high team and a high school, or is it just the way the population is here, you're going to have to basically concentrate on one or the other?
Well, actually, in the past, I have coached a junior high and a varsity in the same year, but it's very rare. Like this year, we have one 7th grade girl and 3 8th grade girls. So there's just no way, even if there's no 6th grade girls. So it just depends year to year on what class sizes are. Actually, 11 girls for my varsity team is a big team for us.
Yeah.
So I am playing 8th graders on that, but that is so that they have that experience and they can keep growing towards becoming senior high. So
I know that one thing that with the boys we didn't talk to Gary about was the fact that there are some guys that are playing the junior high game that our 7th and 8th grades can play on the varsity. Is that correct?
yes, because the league we're in has very small school sizes, general rule is 7th through 12th could play on varsity.
Okay. So it does give you a little bit more availability as far as bodies to play.
Yes, and I mean, I like it even if the 8th graders don't get much playing time, the fact that they can come to practices and grow in their fundamentals and their skills to work them towards becoming varsity players.
All right, well, we've been speaking with Angela Harris, the girls basketball coach, the girls varsity for the Lady Crusaders here at Fayette Bible School. I want to thank her and Gary Schaefer for joining us on today's Winter Sports Coaches Corner program. Don't forget, there are still plenty of home games going on, so keep checking out the school's website. They have a list of all the games that's still coming up, and come on out and root for the Crusaders. Until our next show, I'm Randy Young. Thanks for joining us.